Drasil Universe Saga. Saga 2. Chapter 5. First Contact. Wow, where am I? Chris asked himself. He looked around for a second and he spotted Gabriel. Gabriel, yelled Chris. What are you doing here? Where are we? Asked Gabriel. This must be the Drasil Universe that Iria was talking about, answered Chris. We should explore this place and see what we're dealing with, suggested Gabriel. Agreed, said Chris. The two explored the area and climbed to the top of a huge hill and discovered that the Drasil Universe had different zones, such as the Forest Zone, the one they are currently in, the Jungle Zone, the Ancient Zone, and the Industrial Zone. Well, this is an interesting place, said Gabriel. But that doesn't explain where the others are, responded Chris. Forget that, it's about time it was just me and you, said Gabriel. What are you getting at? Asked Chris. It's about time we test our physical training, see who is the better fighter, answered Gabriel. I thought this was coming, I accept, even though I think this is pointless, Chris replied. The two took off their shirts and shoes. Chris put on his gloves and prepared for battle. I've been waiting a long time for this, said Gabriel. I hate agreeing with you, but I have to, Chris shot back. Chris and Gabriel ran toward each other and went for a strong knockout punch at the same time. The two both blocked with their non-punching hands, and they were locked in an arm and elbow tie-up. Gabriel, you are just as predictable as I thought, Chris said as he kicked Gabriel in the stomach. Look who's talking, responded Gabriel as he performed a sweep kick on Chris and knocked him down. With Chris on the ground, Gabriel began to throw a flurry of fast punches at Chris. Chris blocked and dodged all of Gabriel's punches in a show of speed and reflexes. On the last punch, Chris grabbed Gabriel's arm and pushed his foot into Gabriel's stomach and performed a tech throw. Chris quickly got up and tried to throw a series of punches of his own at Gabriel. Gabriel also dodged and blocked all of the punches easily and grabbed Chris's arm and performed an arm and shoulder throw. Chris hopped up, and the two punched each other at the same time. They both staggered a few steps back. It seems you paid attention to the training, said Chris, while checking his lip for blood. You too. I thought at your size, you would be a total pushover, but I guess I was wrong, Gabriel replied while doing the same. I like a good challenge, and I don't know if this is luck or fate, but I'm getting to test my skills right now, said Chris as he got into his fighting stance. It's not luck or fate, this is our destiny. Me and you are the two strongest right now, but only one of us can leave the Drasil Universe undisputed, and that person is me, yelled Gabriel boldly as he got into his fighting stance. Chris started with 3 simultaneous kicks, which Gabriel blocked. On the last kick, Gabriel grabbed Chris's foot, threw it to the side, and gave Chris an open-palmed shot to the chest. As Chris staggered back, Gabriel followed, but Chris ducked a quick punch attempt from Gabriel and countered with an open-palmed shot of his own. The two stared at each other in a puzzled manner, wondering why they couldn't take a decisive advantage. Well, you seem poised to win this fight, said Chris sarcastically. Your quips don't work on me. It may bother everyone else, but it doesn't bother me, Gabriel responded. I guess that means that you're admitting that I'm going to win this fight, said Chris boldly. I'm not going to lose this fight, Gabriel yelled. You're right, because none of you will win, said Iria out of nowhere. Come on, can't we finish this, asked Chris. No, we need to find everyone else, and Darren ordered that none of you get hurt, boomed Iria. We can call this a draw, Gabriel declared. Agreed, said Chris. Now, let's go find everyone else, ordered Iria. The three traveled through the forest zone as Iria began to explain a little bit about the Drasil Universe. I created this place as a training area and battleground. Different tactics will have to be used in different zones, lectured Iria. So that explains how we fought so well here, said Gabriel. Yes, good point. The forest zone is more of a spiritual zone. It picked up your spirits, which had the will to win and put them to use, Iria replied. Where are my friends? Asked Chris. I don't know, since you two landed in the forest zone, the others should be near the industrial zone, Iria answered. I hope the girls didn't land in the same place, remarked Gabriel. He's right, they could fight and someone could get hurt, Chris added. There are a series of portals that link one zone to the next. We need to find the one that leads to the jungle zone, said Iria. In the industrial zone. Anna, you okay? Asked Brandy. I'm fine, Anna answered. Looks like we're in some city, revealed Brandy. We should look around, suggested Anna. The two looked around. So this is the Drasil Universe. I expected something more unique, remarked Brandy. Who cares about that? Where are Chris and Duran? Anna inquired. That's a good question, but what about Tanya and the others? Added Brandy. We're here, said Tanya as she stepped out of a building. And it looks like it's only us, added Angela. We don't have time for this, said Brandy. I agree, we should go find Chris and Duran, Anna added. Brandy and Anna start to walk away. Hold up, aren't you two even the least bit curious about the skills you've acquired? Asked Tanya. I am, and I would like to use them to beat your face in, answered Brandy. Well, here is your opportunity. We've checked, there is no one else here, which means we can do what we want, Angela informed. If you guys want to fight, just say so, Anna said while staring at Angela. Let's get it on, said Tanya. The four prepared for battle and they agreed on a tag team style fight. Tanya and Anna started first for their team. Tanya swung first, but Anna quickly ducked the attempt and performed a sweep kick, knocking Tanya off of her feet. Tanya rolled away from Anna's stomp attempt and quickly jumped up. You aren't as bad as I thought you would be, Tanya said as she got into her fighting stance. I'm going to kick your ass, yelled Anna as she ran toward Tanya. Anna struck Tanya. Tanya fell to the ground, and before Tanya could recover, Anna was already there throwing a flurry of punches at her. Tanya efficiently blocked Anna's punch attempts and rolled away to Angela. Tanya tagged Angela in. I've been waiting for this, said Angela as she got into her fighting stance. Tag me now, yelled Brandy. Anna tagged Brandy in. You ready? Asked Brandy. Angela tackled the smaller Brandy and got on top of her and started to punch her rapidly. Brandy put her arms up to block and suddenly slipped under Angela. When Angela turned around to see where Brandy was, Brandy met her with a kick to the face. Angela fell and rolled over to her and Tanya's corner. Brandy stepped back to her and Anna's corner. Angela and Brandy tagged their partners in at the same time. Tanya and Anna ran toward each other. They both struck each other at the same time. They both fell. They got up to their feet, but Tanya attacked first, grabbing Anna and putting her in a stranglehold. What now, Anna? You can either give up, or I can choke you out, said Tanya while maintaining her hold. Anna struggled until she overpowered Tanya and slammed her. As Tanya lay there motionless, Angela hit Anna from behind, knocking her to the ground. Bitch, yelled Brandy as she tackled Angela. Brandy and Angela began wrestling on the ground, until out of nowhere Daniel grabbed Brandy and threw her a few feet away to the ground. Sucker, said Daniel as he tried to help Angela up. You know that was their fight, you have no right to interfere that way, said a voice. Daniel and Angela looked around. Come out, you asshole, don't play with me, Duran, yelled Daniel. You will pay for that, especially because you put your hands on her, said Duran as he helped Anna and Brandy up. Daniel ran towards Duran and threw a wild punch. Duran stepped to the side and grabbed Daniel's arm, twisted it, and slammed him to the ground. He then proceeded to stomp on Daniel's chest. Daniel coughed up blood and then laid there motionless on the ground. You hurt him real bad, yelled Tanya. Forget about him, shot back Anna. Yeah, you two started this, you have a fight to finish, Duran remarked. Tanya stood in front of Angela as Anna charged. Anna jumped into the air to perform a jump kick. Tanya ducked and Anna struck Angela with the kick and knocked her out instantly. Damn it, she's out, yelled Tanya. So do you give up? Anna questioned. Tanya flashed her a dirty look. You two win for now, help me with them, ordered Tanya. So this is it, the Drasil Universe doesn't look anything different from home, said Brandy. Now that's where you're wrong, you should have seen where me and him came from. It was like a South American jungle, animals and all. I saw Daniel moving, so I slowly followed him, Duran explained as he folded his arms. A look of disbelief came upon Anna, Brandy, and Tanya's faces. So there's more to this place than we thought, Tanya said in shock. Chris and Gabriel could be anywhere, started Brandy. If Daniel found us, then they should be able to too, Anna added. She's right, that building looks good to rest in, we should carry those two inside and rest, suggested Duran. Meanwhile, Chris, Gabriel, and Iria arrived in the industrial zone. First the jungle, now a city, what next? Asked Chris. They're here, Iria speculated. How do you know that? Asked Gabriel. Iria pointed at a patch of dry blood. There's been fighting here, said Iria, as she continued to look around. The girls couldn't have done this, Chris said while shaking his head. They didn't, said a familiar voice. Duran, how did you get here? Where are the others? Asked Chris. Duran pointed toward the nearby building. I'll explain everything when we get inside, Duran said as he motioned for them to follow him. Duran, Chris, Gabriel, and Iria entered the building and proceeded to the main room. Chris, yelled Anna as she ran over and hugged him. What the hell happened to them? Asked Gabriel while pointing at Angela and Daniel. Long story, Tanya replied. Tanya and Angela challenged us to a fight and all hell broke loose when Daniel interfered and threw me, explained Brandy. So I intervened and kicked his ass. He'll tell you when he gets up, Duran added. Fuck, this was not supposed to happen. Darren will have my ass for this, said a frustrated Iria. Is that a bad thing? Because it looks like it's good from here, said Duran with a smirk. Cut it out, Duran, Brandy ordered. So what now? Asked Tanya. We all have to stay here, together, at least until morning, so get comfortable. By my order no one leaves here tonight, Iria declared. With everything settled, Chris walked outside and looked to the stars. You're worried, aren't you? Asked Duran. Sort of, because of me. Daniel and Angela got hurt, and I'm pretty sure that worse is ahead, answered Chris. You are a leader, I know you don't think that right now, and you are right, pretty soon the stakes will be raised, but I think you will be ready to protect everyone, said Duran encouragingly. You're right, man, I'll do this for everyone here. Even Tanya, Chris declared. The group all gathered in the building and eventually went to sleep. The next morning. Well, this is it, the beginning, I have to be ready for this 100%, Chris thought to himself. So you got up early too, this is all your fault, so I hope you feel guilty, said Tanya as she stood next to Chris. I feel a little guilty, but there is no way to get out of this, so I must take charge and rise above whatever is thrown at us, Chris responded. For the first time in a while I'm hearing some sense coming out of your mouth, but you are crazy if you think that you can protect everyone here, responded a surprised Tanya. I'm well aware of that, everyone can't be protected, but I will try my best even for you. Chris said as he turned around. Wait, don't forget, no matter what happens, I feel the same way about you. You will not win my heart with fantasy heroics. Daniel is still my boyfriend, remember that, said Tanya seriously. Sure, and remember what I said about my pride as well, we are not enemies, but if you cross that line there's no turning back, Chris replied. Chris walked away. Tanya sighed and followed closely behind him. Today is the day that your extensive and elemental training will begin, announced Iria. So what's the deal? What do we have to do? Asked Daniel. That's a good question, Duran remarked. Nobody asked you, asshole, shot Angela. Now is not the time or place for this. I want you all to run a 2-mile course until Darren gets here and he will explain, Iria intervened. The group split into twos, Chris and Anna paired, Duran and Brandy paired, Tanya and Gabriel paired, and Angela and Daniel paired. So what do you think about this? Asked Duran. Well, if they say that this Iran is going to threaten both universes, there has to be something we can do, Brandy answered. This could be dangerous, and that's why we need to watch out for each other big time, Duran added as they continued running. I feel for Chris though, we all got into this because of him, but then again this could change all of our lives for better or for worse, Brandy said solemnly. Don't worry about Chris, I have a feeling that he'll find himself out here, assured Duran. Meanwhile, Tanya and Gabriel were talking. So you two fought? Asked Tanya. As soon as we arrived, he's good, I couldn't believe it, he is fighting for something out here, Gabriel answered. Those two have no idea what's going on, we aren't fighting for high school rep or money, lives are going to be on the line pretty soon, said Tanya. You're talking about Daniel and Angela? Of course, those two don't get it, they never will, Gabriel replied. I am especially afraid for them, I love Daniel a lot, but I feel this strong magnetic connection to Chris, Tanya said as she kept looking ahead. As that very conversation was going on, Daniel and Angela were talking. That was embarrassing, being knocked out while that prick was still standing. As my girlfriend stood and watched, said a frustrated Daniel. Yeah, that was bullshit. Tanya hung me out to dry, but you know this is all one person's fault, Angela added. That idiot, Chris got us into this, responded Daniel. I have a plan that could help us, but we'll wait until everything is settled. You'll see, Angela said with a smirk. Slightly ahead of them were Chris and Anna, who were also talking. What's wrong, Chris? Asked Anna. Chris didn't answer. Oh, I see, you think all of this stuff that's been going on is your fault, Anna said sharply. Yeah, sort of, answered Chris. Well, listen, I know that we all got involved and you feel guilty, but the bottom line is, we overheard you and Duran's conversation, that's why we are here. Tanya and Angela challenged us to that fight, Daniel interfered. All of this isn't your fault, you just do what you have done and don't worry about them, Anna lectured. For some reason, I feel like Tanya's perception of me is changing, said Chris. I feel some changes in Tanya's group overall. I think after that fight some of them are not trusting each other like they did before, Anna added. Well, in the past, Tanya and her group's problems didn't mean anything to me, but now I think their problems may affect us sooner than we think, Chris said as they finally arrived back at their encampment. The others filed in 2 by 2 until they all arrived back. Good, all of you are here, said Iria. So where is this guy? Gabriel asked. Yeah, Tanya, Angela, and Daniel agreed in unison. Damn it, do any of you ever shut up? Shot Duran. We just want to know what the hell is going on, Tanya responded. Well, sit tight, because none of you are getting out of this anyway, remarked Anna. Who said we were trying to get out of this? Angela asked sarcastically. You tried to get out of the fight earlier, started Brandy. And you got your ass kicked, Anna continued. How about a rematch? Challenged Tanya. Alright, enough of this, a somewhat distant voice said. Okay, everyone, this is Darren, announced Iria. All of you separate, line up with your friends, Darren ordered. Darren paced back and forth, glaring at each person briefly. I've been watching you all, believe it or not. Each of you almost mirror each other in fighting spirit, said Darren as he stopped. He paced until he stopped in front of Tanya. Tanya, you are a strong-willed young woman, a leader, but you don't view it that way, you respect even the ones you dislike. I see great things from you, started Darren as he looked at Tanya. He moved over to Daniel. Daniel, boyfriend of Tanya, you are very cocky, you know what you are made of, but you have no skill. I will try to fix that, Darren continued as he looked at Daniel. He moved over to Angela. Angela, best friend of Tanya, you are quite knowledgeable, you are the voice of reason in your group, but you don't do it when it is needed, and you don't support Tanya when she needs it. We will work on that, Darren said as he looked at Angela. Darren then moved over to Gabriel. Gabriel, you are the most skilled of your group, but you feel the other members of your group are expendable. If this attitude towards your group continues, you will surely be alone. I see great things from you as well, no matter how you end up doing it, said Darren. He slowly paced over to Anna. Anna, you are very intelligent, you care for Chris more than you sometimes show. You will believe it or not make him stronger than he will ever be in his life, Darren went on as he smiled at Anna. Darren moved over to Duran. Duran, Chris's best friend, you are quite intellectual as well, but you do not act like it. But the best thing about you is you're serious when it counts. I see great things from you as well. Someday you may have to become a leader, something you are more than capable of, Darren said as he looked at Duran. He moved over to Brandy. Brandy, you as well care for Chris, but not the way Anna does. You look like a pushover, but your fierce personality will prove a lot of people wrong. You need to lay the past between you and Chris to rest, regain your focus and you'll be fine, continued Darren as he smiled at Brandy. He then moved over to Chris, and he stood there for about 5 seconds looking at him. We finally meet. You are the one who will end up having to save the universes. You are arrogant and you take a lot of pride in yourself. You don't realize the impact of your actions. I'm sure all of your friends being here has shown you the universal impact that you have on all of them. You alone have seen and felt the effects of what the Andiron universe brings. Prepare yourself as a leader, Chris. What you will get out of this experience is far more than you have ever dreamed. Greatness is written all over you, Darren complimented as he continued to look at Chris. Darren stepped back so he could be in front of all 8 of them. So to the point, I have brought you here to train your elemental abilities and your minds, announced Darren. Angela stepped forward. We don't want to have to work with them another day, yelled Angela. Who said that you had to? Brandy shot back. Enough of this, Brandy is right, no one said you were all working together. Here's what is going to happen. For the next 3 weeks you will eat, you will sleep, and you will train here in the Drasil Universe. Don't worry about time, every minute in the normal universe is a full day here, and as your standing is how you are going to do it. You all want to compete. It will be Team X versus Tanya and company. The winner will be my team to defend the universes. I will explain the details later, boomed Darren. This is awesome, said Daniel. Agreed, now we don't have to be around them anymore, said Tanya as she celebrated with Daniel, Angela, and Gabriel. Now Chris, it's on, yelled Gabriel as he got into his fighting stance. Chris put his hands in his pockets. See you on the battlefield, Chris said as he walked away. With Team X and Tanya and company going their separate ways, the first team challenge has begun, with the winner becoming the new defenders of the universes. At Tanya and company's camp. This is getting interesting, said Angela as she laid down and looked to the stars. This is serious now. You just remember to keep your cool and don't do anything stupid, Gabriel said as he threw a flurry of punches. Why are you training right now? Asked Daniel. Gabriel gave Daniel a dirty look. Don't forget that this could involve us having to fight with one of them. Duran kicked your ass already, and Chris would mop the floor with you. I'm your only chance, Gabriel said as he threw a punch in front of Daniel's face. He's right, said Tanya out of nowhere. We will win, they all said. Darren and Iria appeared in front of him. I respect the confidence, Darren said as he clapped. There is a looking glass, somewhere here in this universe. You find it, you will go back to the normal universe. The defenders of the universes, started Iria. But first you will head to the ancient zone, where you will learn the basic nature of your element, continued Darren. Tanya, yours will be metal, Angela, yours will be wood, Daniel, yours will be water, and Gabriel. Started Darren. Wait, there may not be an element for it, but I want electricity. They used it on me before. I want that same ability to strike down my foes, yelled Gabriel. Fair enough, Darren replied. He shot a bolt of electricity at Gabriel. A static aura surrounded Gabriel. You are now immune to any electricity. You will learn more in the ancient zone. See you there, said Darren. And finally, we just want you to know that me and Darren are impartial to which team wins, and we will not interfere, Iria assured. Darren and Iria disappeared. At Team X's camp. Well, this is it, said Duran. Indeed it is, Chris agreed. Alright, we don't have to worry about Tanya or anything else anymore. We all got into this with you, so we're with you the whole way, Chris, said Brandy as she smiled. Team X, yelled Anna. Darren and Iria appeared. Both of these groups seem motivated, right? Darren asked Iria. They are, Iria responded. Darren stared at Chris, Anna, Duran, and Brandy. You are our favorites to win this challenge, because of your teamwork and spiritual awareness, started Darren. From this point on, myself and Darren will no longer interfere in your adventures, Iria informed. With that out of the way, let's get to it. Your challenge during your elemental training will be to find a looking glass hidden in this universe. That will be your way home, and your ticket to becoming the defenders of the Andiron universe, said Darren as he continued to stare at them. Duran, you will learn the element of earth, Brandy, you will learn fire, and Anna, you will learn how to control wind, Iria continued. What about me? Asked Chris. We will tell you in the ancient zone, Darren answered as he and Iria disappeared. Back at Tanya and company's camp. Good, she's gone, said Angela. Alright, Daniel, get to it, Gabriel urged. Okay, we can set up Chris, but we need to use Tanya to get to him, explained Daniel. I see what you mean, but we need to learn more about this place before we try anything, Gabriel warned. Team X is about to get burned, said Angela as she laughed. Gabriel's body began to glow with a static aura. Let the chaos begin, Gabriel said as he smirked. With the original 8 separated into 2 teams of 4, Team X and Tanya and company. The challenge to crown the defenders has begun. With Gabriel already manifesting his abilities, the others will head to the ancient zone to learn theirs, including Chris, who hasn't found out what element he will learn yet. End of chapter 5.